Your business isn't growing. It's not because you lack motivation. You have the credibility, you have the experience, you have the capability, but your business probably is what we call structurally misdesigned. And it's that misdesign that is destroying your profits. So let's fix the architecture. High-performing founders do not fail because of laziness. They fail because of what we call structural ambiguity. They're busy, they're intelligent, they get things done. And yet they're operating inside a business model that was never consciously designed. Clarity is that missing profit multiplier. And without structural clarity, effort becomes noise. Let me give you an example of what I mean. Recently, I was working with a founder in the field of creative arts. He's really talented, clear vision, years of effort, but the revenue was inconsistent. Energy was fragmented, and the stress, as you can imagine, was high. So he came to me looking for budgeting support, but within 20 minutes, it was obvious. It wasn't the financial issue that was the problem. It was a design failure. So I asked 4 key questions. What exactly is the service being provided here? Who exactly is the target community? What is the precise income target that my entrepreneur client had for, shall we say, the next 12 months? And what does success really look like in a year, 2 or 3 years' time? So we went through all of that, and within 12 months, the gentleman's revenue had doubled. Not because he'd worked harder, but because he operated inside a defined structure. So here's the real test. I'm giving you the giveaway at the get-go. If you were to set up your business today from scratch, would it look like it does? Think about it. What you're about to learn in the next few minutes is I'm going to show you 5 structural corrections that are capable of transforming your business into a scalable business. Now, this isn't motivational stuff. This is all about the architecture. And the 5th step is the one that most SME founders intellectually understand, but emotionally they resist. So stay tuned for that. Now, whilst you're here, who am I? I'm Michael Horesh. I'm the co-founder of the 172 Group, along with my colleague, Shari Wright-Pillow. We work intensely and intently with SME founders who don't need inspiration. They need precision. Our community is growing because we focus on that design, not the noise around. We strongly believe that clarity precedes growth and structure then precedes scale. And so if you value our way of thinking over all the hype you might see around you, subscribe. It just takes you a second. We try and publish our videos twice a week for founders like you who look to think clearly and therefore earn better. So let's jump in. Item number 1, stop confusing activity with progress. How many times have we mentioned this? Showing up means eliminating undefined labor. All those free favors you give away, the endless research for others, you react to tasks. If these activities do not align with your revenue, your positioning, what you perceive as measurable growth, then you've got here what we call structural leakage, and leakage compounds. So drop these time-consuming activities. Don't let yourself be abused by these tasks and the demands of other people that are placed on you and you somehow seem to be embracing. Item number 2, quantify real capacity. What do I mean by this? How many focused revenue-producing hours do you actually have in a given day or week? Not the theoretical hours, not the calendar hours, but real output hours. One founder I worked with believed that he had about 60% available capacity. And after we sort of did some digging around, it was close to 15%. Now, once the reality was sunk in and was accepted, quality intensified. Eventually, the business was sold at an incredibly strong profit level because they took on board the fact that reality is not what's limiting. Denying reality is what was limiting their progress. Item number 3, monetize intention. Set precise revenue targets, not grow, not just expand, not just build awareness, specific monetary targets, and then reverse engineer the activity required. I can recall a wellness founder that I had mentioned, and they were only working 2 or 3 hours a day because that's what their life permitted them. However, the targets were very carefully aligned with that amount of time available. Growth was always steady and controlled because there's an old adage, targets discipline behavior, ambiguity enables drift. Item number 4, invest, but invest intelligently. No business scales without input, and the key inputs are time, money, and exposure. There's an old adage, and there's an old lesson from the Great Depression of the 1930s, now nearly a century ago. Firms that maintained marketing during the Depression and kept up their investment in marketing were generally the ones that ended up surviving the Depression and moving into the 40s and 50s. And that principle remains true today because visibility compounds, whereas silence ends up shrinking your business. So we come to the magic number 5, what we call ruthless measurement. Time to put on a tie and jacket, and let's get a little sophisticated here. Measure up. Too many of my clients ignore or do not invest in core metrics. Now, these can be revenue per hour, cost of acquisition, conversion rates, pipeline value, time spent on tasks, return on marketing spend. Because all of these measurements, and some are more appropriate than others for individual businesses, all of these measurements, what they do is they take the ego out of the equation. Measurements replace emotion with data, and data enables intelligent scaling, intelligent decision making. When you measure properly, your business stops being personal and becomes mathematical. And that is when real growth begins. You think that's waffle? I'm in the middle, actually, of a nearly 2-hour-long podcast about Uber and how Uber turned from being a loss maker to a multi-billion-dollar giant. How? Just by using the data that was acquiring. And you should see now what Uber is beginning to do with that data on AI. You're not stuck because you lack motivation. That's rarely the case. You are stuck because your business architecture is undefined. Clarity is not inspiration, it is design, and design multiples profits. Now, if all of this resonates with you, don't just subscribe. Go deeper. On the 172 website, we've created a free 4-minute strategic growth scorecard. It takes you just 4 minutes to fill out 7 questions, and these are very carefully designed questions to determine what the structure of your business should be. It'll give you immediate clarity on where you are leaking money. The link is also placed below. And tell me in the comments, where is your biggest structural bottleneck right now? See you next time.